This morning, Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin is in the ICU in critical condition for a second day. He collapsed on the field on Sunday night during a game against the Bengals. People all around the country have been showing their support through social media. In Buffalo and in Cincinnati, fans have been showing up to the Bills and Bengals stadiums. Now we're hearing more from Hamlin's family about what happened after that hit on Sunday night. His uncle told reporters Hamlin had to be resuscitated 3 times.
Just to know like my nephew basically died on the field and they brought him back to life. I mean, that's just heartbreaking. And to see all those grown men crying and all the emotion, man, it really was a gut punch, man. And
he says Hamlin is still sedated and on a ventilator right now. Hamlin's uncle also thanked the doctors who saved his nephew on the field. The Buffalo Bills say Hamlin's heartbeat was restored on the field before he was taken to the hospital.
Yeah, paramedics started doing CPR on him right away. And when someone goes into a cardiac arrest, every second counts.
Now, as 9 News reporter Mark Salinger explains, paramedics are hoping people will see this and learn how to do CPR themselves.
I would have the AED and I would go running.
When emergencies happen,
Try to feel for their breathing and listen.
people like Chase Lindquist are ready.
The second that they're not breathing, you start CPR.
There's just nothing to say right now.
Monday night, we saw it happen on national television.
I saw it live. I was saw it happen, and yeah.
Chase is a paramedic instructor with Denver Health. He works Broncos and Rockies games every season. And at Coors Field, he sits feet away from the players, just in case he's needed.
I have everything that I could possibly need. I have my entire jump kit, I have my cardiac monitor, I have an AED, I have all of the things that I could possibly need that's sitting right there in case something happens.
What Chase saw in the middle of Monday Night Football is how quickly CPR was started after Damar Hamlin collapsed. Now he's asking that more people learn how to do CPR in case someone needs it when team doctors aren't just a short jog away.
If you wait for an ambulance to get there, we're already losing a lot of time. Getting compressions as early as possible is by far the most important part.
As we wait to find out if Hamlin will be okay,
And the goal is to get the chest at least 2 inches deep.
sharing how important CPR is
And hard and fast and 2 inches deep.
could save more lives.
You do that until help arrives.
Most public buildings do have defibrillators for people to access them in an emergency, and in many cases, as soon as you remove them off the wall, there's an alarm that automatically is sent to 911 dispatchers. AEDs will guide you through the first steps until first responders make their way to the scene. The quick, potentially life-saving medical care we saw on Sunday is exactly what you want when the worst happens.
But in Colorado, high school athletes don't have that type of access. In fact, an athletic trainer might not even be on duty during games. It doesn't mean, though, there isn't care. KUSA requires coaches to have training in CPR, AEDs, and first aid. But certified trainers are highly trained for serious situations, and they're not required to be at games.
My ask would be this. It would just be that administration, respective of costs, seriously consider employing a certified athletic trainer. I think that anyone that you talk to would say they would prefer if there was a certified athletic trainer on site to provide care during high school athletic events.
Many larger school districts or schools have certified athletic trainers. The commissioner for KUSA says many schools just don't have the funds for them since they would have to be paid using district funds. Of course, we have all of this information, including information about learning CPR on our 9 News app. You can download it and get the latest updates about Hamlin as we continue to learn more about how he's doing.
Other news we're following this morning, a mountain town's only hospital will take hundreds of thousands of dollars from taxpayers just to stay open. St. Vincent Health in Leadville struck a deal with county commissioners for the bailout. The hospital has been struggling with money for a while now. Last month, leaders told employees they would not be able to make payroll without a bailout. This week, Lake County agreed to give St. Vincent up to $480,000 to keep paying people. As part of the deal, the hospital board apologized to taxpayers in Lake County and, of course, the hospital staff. Commissioners want the hospital to pay them back by the end of the year. 9 News has also learned St. Vincent spent nearly $170,000 on equipment that it can't use. The hospital's interim CEO says some of their equipment is not validated for its altitude of more than 10,000 feet. CEO John Gardner says they stopped using the equipment once they realized it may not work properly. He says they've asked the equipment company for a refund.
Thousands of migrants have arrived here in Colorado over just the last few months, and the city of Denver has spent more than $1 million to house them all.
And now we know Governor Polis has expressed interest in sending some of those migrants on to New York City. 9 News reporter Courtney Yoon joins us right now from the news cam. Courtney, what do we know?
Good morning, Erica and Jordan. According to the city of Denver, they've taken in more than 3,600 migrants since early November. The city says 1,600 of those migrants have moved on, and in many cases, Denver was not their endpoint destination. Governor Jared Polis says they are assisting with transporting migrants to their desired final destinations. He claims 70% of arriving migrants don't plan to stay in Colorado. City leaders in Denver say their resources are maxed out and they need more help. Last week, Mayor Michael Hancock wrote a letter to the Archdiocese of Denver asking to use an old nursing home to help house around 100 migrants. The Archdiocese now says it just got possession of the property and wanted to make sure it was safe and ready to receive people. Denver is getting $1.5 million from the state to help with arriving migrants. The money can be spent on future expenses like housing assistance, language access, medical care, and transportation.
All right, Courtney, a lot of details to be sorted out there. Thank you. Well, there are new questions this morning about whether a 12-year-old boy accused of starting a deadly apartment fire with his brother can stand trial. His case is on hold for now while a doctor evaluates his competency. The boy and his 14-year-old brother are accused of starting a fire at the Tiffany Square Apartments in Lakewood on Halloween. Prosecutors say the boys were staying at the complex and they started the fire after someone kicked them out. Kathleen Payton and her 10-year-old daughter Jazzy sadly died in that fire. Both boys are facing 100 charges each, including first-degree murder and arson. The DA's office says the 12-year-old's defense attorneys are asking for him to be evaluated to see if he's competent to stand trial. Our partners at the Denver Gazette report the 14-year-old's case is moving forward.
And one thing you want to know about the weather today is temperatures a little bit below normal for this time of year, mostly in the 30s along the Front Range, but we'll see partly cloudy skies to sunny skies. And tomorrow, a little bit warmer and partly sunny skies as well.